ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Back to the Roots. Today we're going to meet another priest, and soon he will introduce himself. And I think that is the first point. Oh, niba jonomi domina kanko kwa bibia mindo kwendome diji. O chon mikana be no iwa mina bio mindo mini domide kesibonu meru mikpole o yeni tun megon miwai.
E non posso non avere un itano e un e lo mio da go. Se poi dici in che non sta e
Chiokon. O dagun oi
da e quando io da.
Okay, I am a voodoo priest, more precisely, Dan priest. And the Dan that I am priest of is Dagun. So, the throne on which I am is Dan Dagun. Ni more Dagun Okay. First of all, the question I'm going to ask the priest is today, when we consider the movies and everything all around the world, it's like voodoo belief is taken for the evil cult, whereas when it is other religion, there's no problem. But when it comes to voodoo or African spirituality, it is taken for Satan, for the devil. So I would like to know what the priests think about such a situation. Como comportamento bana cambia mi weno nini pon sincere pilo perme. Boze o yobo chinois ya, indien ya, o européen ya, sincere teme. Mi ka kon gani eje me witandio, ene okun sincere mauton debo au vitangwe yeni obo anate ibio amisa de membonu irande yede o legba ton wiwi jije no bo de we o no yin o de yobo ton wa no yin ma o ne mi de mi ka lindo ko mo kan ton ta
Ko de arewa ko do de ino de o sinsen de ko da yiro ko ji Toroko de Allen, Tom, Google, me we no Zoka, me wato, me we are both no million wato, Emilemo. No, Jijo, better ton de na jaw, I think we are better than control. I know we are call me, maybe a Gio, Fide. Maybe you know they are way a video, but not yet on you by a young way now. Where to go in
very first thing is that if someone thinks that black men or black people are worshiping the devil, that they are not human race, then they are insulting themselves. Because come what may, when you want to tell the truth, you know that black race is the very first race. And there's no other race on earth which is not from the black hood. So it's like you have your mother and you think that your mother is not a human being, but you are a human being. Because Africa is the cradle of humanity. The very first human being on earth, the very first creature of God as a human being was a black person. So how come if everyone is from the black person, how come the black person is the devil and the other race will be forgiven, or the best race? So that is just a stupidity. That is the very first thing you have to tell people. Jenny.
It did not McQueen, neither could make a queen, Muya, Queen, Ben, they made me kawaii, Ben, you are made it to Mawa, made it to make that bear, made it to one. We make better level because my mouth lady, Bodo Fair, Bomido Sister, Bodo Sister, Intestinal Bide. Ayọ̀nyá sàbọ̀dọ̀ mi àyèjì ilé ẹ̀mí sàbọ̀dọ̀ mi dé gbọ́dọ̀ yìí rẹ̀ ìná yọrọ máwù ní ẹ̀bí ìjẹ́ fídíò ẹ̀nà yọrọ tó gbé tán dé yọrọ yìí lẹ́mẹ̀gbẹ̀ mi ló yìí rọ rẹ̀ ń hẹ̀nú wọn sẹ́wẹ̀ mi mẹ̀mí dé ìsìnkú àmì kò bí ọ̀hẹ̀nú sẹ́wẹ̀ mi dé.
Thank you. You know, when we leave that part, another point is that nobody really knows who God is. Nobody really knows how the world, the universe is created. But we all refer to a mighty being, a supreme being that has created everything and who is responsible for the universe function. So, we cannot think of any religion being the birth or belonging to God or is doing the God will. But what should we understand by religion? We have inherited of a world, of a nature, and we are living on the ground. We really don't know how this works and how this was created. So we invoke a name, saying that anyway, whoever has created this, we have to show respect to that person because we are inheriting from something that we do not know the origin of. So that is what religion is all about. So if you think that your religion is the best religion, you are wasting your time. You are just telling nonsense. That is the second point.
Maybe na bio ye ko tun je ma we ta gbe o iye o e de te gbe mi han en lo kuro fona yo ma o si nko ma na yo pe to si nko ja do mo si nko tebe e do Jesus o de iye me vovo Jesus africain fi e Yesu se po e do e so ro pasa ye tu ton we o Ezuma passager ton Jésus ma si no ma o si teme gbeto yi bi e be di un be do to ko do no be tun to ton bo tun no ton be jo enu Jésus a do ye we ko me de ko de ko do nu yen ko nu je nu di nu ele le nu le wa ko do ko chu ba ji Jésus mo do mi gbe sin mi wa le be le Jésus o vivu fi ti kle yi ro gbe me e ka do pe ma nu kun we jeji o Pegma we do boje ye ko doji boje we is aton ne doji we aton biblo ke aton chobo ko si pia e do nu ye mo be no ze so do mountain na se pe to so do mountain na we do ali bu gbe obi o ne we si se pe to do so do mountain si teme a do bi we ye Jesus e ka do ka meri we Africa e yi ovo wa
Okay. You know, we're not going to claim any body, but when you're talking about Jesus, for example, people may think of white men, all those things. We do not believe that at all. If there's someone who is Jesus, he should be a black man. And now, when we even leave that part, we should understand that the world existed long before the arrival of Jesus. So, when we consider the origin, the humanity, the history, Jesus, when we consider the story, the Bible, it is, he lived for 32 years, they said. But he didn't start doing spiritual work at his younger age. It is at a given point that he got revealed, he got involved in the stuff, or he received the message. As anyway, the history is not our problem. We know that the world exists long before the arrival of that man, of Jesus, and he did great as a spiritualist, but this does not mean that we should take him for God. God is different. He's something that nobody really knows who he is and where he is. We know that Jesus that we're talking about and say that he's the God, and our religion is the evil cult. We know that Jesus is from a family, has a mother, is a human being like us. So there's no way to take a human being for God. We do not believe in those stuff. So that is another business. We are not involved in that. Thank you. Now we are moving to our true topic, which is to talk about deity down. Deity down. That is what we are here to talk about today. Ina chen mi kaka mida bina wenka wene rufine mla bon dans wala mi an kun mi pere rufio do dan mi no dan severo te do mo yeta
dan mi dan severo mi dan gbeto ko wa gbe gbeto ko sin pe wa pe mi ma sin bu na lo abra de na do gbe mi sin bu gbeto ko wa gbe ko asisa kan ko ilo yi mi ai bu to pe ri o gbeto sin pe wa ko do de mi lu do ma wo bo mi ma mo pe do to ko do nu me se yes se mi to ne ko wa gbeto sin aso me ko wa gbeton wa bro mi lo dan do re on kan de me ko me lo ko me de we do dan mo yo boji ame de we do dan ko yan sisa ko mo sisa ni bo wa gbe mu e mi si wi lo dan ne bo du dan re on kan de mi he wa.
So we were saying that the creation of the human beings, nobody really knows how it was made. Nobody really knows who is God. So when you consider every single human being, he is from somewhere, he is based on an energy. And the very first principle that governs the human being, the very first thing in the process of creation refers to what we call Da. It is an energy. It is what we call deity Da. And I don't know, we're going to say dans Aïlo-Welo, on say dans Tɔxɔsu, dans Lele. O do tadio dans Nambi mo mi ka hen mi na leni mi bio dans Tomeo. Malile ko gbe ro gresigo mi ye. The question I'm asking the priest is that when we're talking about down, we have heard of many types of down, like Dan Tɔxɔsu, Dan Lisa, and so on and so forth. We would like to ask the priest, how many types of down do we have in Vodouhout?
Dan na bibe mi si ne dan karo le ne do mi ze do be me peto le o mi ze do peto de sun mi oni me kuro do nko etan mo ko je o je mi ze do asa tewe de me peto le ton ti yan egbe mi lo fantro di hoza be di yan mi ya hoza be le ko ti lo asa tewe de le me do na ji beto dada ikol koloko me koloko kaze me binado ikol ko mi ze vodun binado mi mo do vodun asuroko asiroko de da asuroko de dan Tɔxɔsu dan Lisa dan mewe to se ela le plan le mami ne le bio dan me to se dan le mi me gbeto ewe bi amo dan wi wa bro ela le dan le bio asuroko de kolo ado yiko eton Lisa ado yiko ton Tɔxɔsu do yiko tan ya mami dan we dan po we yin bi bo me kolo do yiko eton dan de do fonu de ya alo de na se mo la do sena me kolo se mo la do sena we bi de sen dion e ala bi de ro si sen do fonti aleji ka bi ma se aleji me de gen la de no sen do e no sen do gen sin aleji gen me de africain de ya su ko bi lo pe o sin lu ndo mo mi de mu fodu dan lo po we de bo ka yin asu ati mi de no lo na do mi de gon na mi mo me ne bo me ne o di o ka ibo ni se ati e ti lo na ti no ne asu ati vo yin da lo po we de e lo dan mo fi bi o dan lo po we de e lo ku me po e la de yipo dan lo po we amo e do asu bodo asi dans le coin de Mami, mais quand on dit ça.
Bon,
à ce point, il y a des gens qui ont essayé de dire, essayé de dire, François. Mais c'est comme ils sont, mais dans le coin de alors le pays,
thank you. In fact, the priest is saying that talking about different types of dawn, frankly speaking, there is only one dawn. It is a principle. And when we consider the principle, no matter the name people may give to the principle, it remains dawn. Because it's just like you and I. My name is Richard. Maybe he's Paul. Maybe he's Meda. So this does not mean that Meda is not a human being and Richard is not a human being. We are all a human being. So it is just a family. And when the dawn is revealed to someone as the worshiping thing, as the ruling energy, it is the person based on the way or on his history, the way the deity was revealed to him, that he gives the name to the deity. So it's just a question of naming the spirit, the deity, the divinity that we worship in. So that we cannot say that we have 10 types of dawn. All dawn is dawn. Now, when you consider our way, it is fun way. Other people will proceed on Yoruba way, Ewe way. So there is a great deal of process, of ways to worship the same thing, but the styles and the names are different. So the only thing we can say is that when you're talking about deity dawn, we have a female principle and male principle, and together they make one thing. That is what dawn is all about. And I tell Mikaka, do fear me can't let campo be me, do po window, me no say down bo for me timely. Luo Mami podo dampo, me na zero pomna do no po in here.
Mami
excuse me, I'm asking the priest, what difference should we make between dawn and Mami?
Dans le coin de Mami, alors il y a un dans le coin de et si d'autres aïeux, et si d'autres attendent, le Mami, mais si d'autres attendent pour nous dans par exemple, dans des noms, il dit des noms des blancs d'attendre, des noms d'alco, des noms d'aoué, des noms de lui, tout des noms de oui, c'est les blancs de cité locaux dans ouais, et si d'autres encore à mon dans ouais.
When we take Mami, we cannot say that it is different from dawn. This is not possible because it is one principle, but Mami is a style. It comes from a group of people and it is their way to worship dawn. When you consider Fon people, they have a way of worshiping dawn. It's just like you go to the bush and you consider snakes. They don't have the same form, but they are snake. They are from one principle. It may be the viper. It may be a python. It may be any other type of snake. It is snake. Snake is the common point. And now it is the one that each of us refers to, and the style they were taught to take care of that divinity that they're using. So when you're talking about Mami, just know that it is dawn that they're worshiping, but in a specific way, from a specific group of people. But you travel to another land, you will see that it is the same thing, but different name and different way, practices. And that is what we should really understand when we're talking about dawn. Now, the next question I'm going to ask the priest is, when we take dawn and you get initiated to Ifa, for example, and dawn is revealed as your head deity, what is the lifestyle that you should observe to have happiness in your life. Who they mean cambio medio when wa peche member wa ifa kwebo itefao ewa ino tawero muteji but tawandona me going dansi ikpame o ema ikpame o me danko do bezame na le bo ewero nu kono fata dio sute mo me mo ko to ka hen do na ni do dan pa to bo fifa na tini
ya do bon do eni le o me do ali yo dio mi de no ti to sun na cho e ka hen me bi hen na ipa do dansi côté yo e o face yipo ma o face yipo ni wa gbe yo no e o gbe mi o bi e mi na lu e bi kro lu bi ya e bi no lu bi ya mi ko do kan mi to le wo e no lu bi ya ama ale to kan ge no do nu ni o mo e de do nu ko wa ni no e dan we o mi na do ta mu me do dansi côté e mi jo mami do mami ye no za agbo ni le mi jo dan de e nu dan lo no wa ko si nu.
First of all, we have to know that when we're talking about Taboos lifestyle, it's just like you just consider us as human beings. You will see that anything that we have, we could eat. But the problem is that some people are allergic to some food. So it is the same thing for the deities. Now, normally we do not talk about taboos if you are not initiated and it is that is required to you. But anyway, we can share the taboos with everyone. Now, when we consider done in any practices apart from Mami, you can see that that will never take a ram. But Mami adepts, they can use ram in their ceremonies, in their rituals. But when you consider any other type of dance, be it Yoruba way, be it Fon way, when we're talking about dance inherited from our forefathers, when it is revealed by Ifa, which has to do with our ruling energy, there should never eat a ram, never.
Dan wa go lengbo mi no en lo akasa
the crab, the sheep, I mean, we talk about the ram, we talk about the sheep, and we talk about crab.
abluza no no
They will take pig, the pork.
atakpen
We call it oyster. We never eat oyster.
enele ve dan when wa na come tutu
Also, the cat, the dog. So, you should not eat, I mean, Dan does not eat ram, sheep, crab, oyster, the cat, the dog, also the feline like panther, giraffe, also. So, okay, so Dan does not take those food. And if you are ruled by Dan, at a given point, you cannot approach those things at all. You cannot eat those things. That is very important. This is a point I wanted to raise because we often say that when we're talking about Dan, you should not use red at all. But he's saying that some Dan can use red oil, whereas some should never eat red oil. When you do not come your opinion down, I mean, what will you look at your point? You know, say that down, that's it, down, may you down the NL, a Kundona Zan for video. Me kind of dinner down, the hair go at me for the con go at me with. Oh, it do at me for the do at me will. It will better tell, but do at me for whom may hair and do over.
Dans zona kana zan fofo e ya pon dan wo su ka amba fofo ko le me fon gbe ya a pon sin ton le debu e le do to we o et soit ton à Galia, pour un peu quand vous voyez venir. On était belle ma zawa, donc tu es ma zan. Tu me proposes à Kodo, nous n'entendons habitant, donc va ton mazan, d'autant, oui, des routes dans des deux routes dans Kodo, oui, les mamies pour voir et nous pour nous. Et à mon vaudouan, le premier, à mon vaudou, au final. Bon, lui, va, bientôt, ma mie aussi, Kodo, dit bon. C'est un oui, nous, oui, elle sort des mamans, pour nous, nous, oui, on doit assumer le diable, pour nous, il faut dire ou d'ailleurs. Et non, nous, à mes voix, mes dames, des way, et mon d'aller le coup, et mon bois. Oui, oui, mon, nous aussi, mon oui, c'est un CD,
I may shock you with my answer. In fact, normally when we're talking about Dan, the red is not automatically forbidden. Because it is, in fact, when we're talking about Dan, the red is not automatically forbidden. I may shock you with my answer. The problem is that when you see we're talking about Dan, is the rainbow, the symbol of Dan. Wherever you go, you see on the temple, you will see the picture of the rainbow. And do you think that the rainbow exists without the red? There's always the red there. But the problem is that you human being, if your energy does not support red, you cannot deal with that. So everything depends on the sign that rules you, the connection that you have. Otherwise, Dan at the root use red stuff as well. And the very first oil that we had was red oil. And even if we want to make anything not red, I mean, if the deity does not support red oil, it is the same red oil, palm oil, that we modify, we whiten somehow to offer to the deity. So the red is not directly forbidden to people because of Dan, but because of their personality, their spiritual personality, the clan they belong to, the way they were born. That is what we can say there. Thank you a lot. Now, we are almost at the end of our interview with Daguno, and we would like him to say some word to our brothers and sisters, I mean our family in the diaspora. Oh, mido no you are seeing people no wa ko mi na bia mi do we want them ka do na yin se do me ko ime wi vi bura kon de dia kon yi to budo fi debu boka no se fodun ko pe want them in do na yin do ye
bi wan de do fina mo mi na yin do mi de we ko yin do ye me ko mo we ka de ni le bi ne o ayo Johnson bi de pera no ko no mi me de do fonu me de enu mewe mi de enu bi we yin mi pi bon totally gbe ayo ko to me Africa bi we enu bi we yin mi de no mi jode nde we mi amo no se mi ka de e ja bi sa ko me onu ko ja mi de no zanzan lo wendo me e ja bi sa ko me azaro ko ja no zan e le ko do no bo pon se de do le bi o vodu mu e Saint Deities ko la bisa ho vodun e be ze gbe to sin ko bodo na no ko mi no ko hen to ni lo nu kon bodo fifa do yo vole he mo amo mi no mi ton e be za bo mo fi ton bo ma mo file le bon e je file le mi ko do mi ton e je file le mi ko do mi ton file le mo bo yi bo ka le ko ka mi le ko gbe dia no mi sin bo mi mo ro tago mi ton se le ko la lo ton dia e le ko bo wa we don't know what mo je mi de ton fi mi de ze ko mo lo bon ele vo he system to wa e o wen to lo ko nya e le ko be kwa sin testament e na mo no je wen do mesin kere la sin testament mi biology mi ni lo ko bo da lo ko nde nya mi me gbe to lo ba nya za ha bi de we aye za mi ka di yo no e wa mi do fi bion gbe ko da do mo e no gbe to wa for me gbe ko da do mo bo no zo ma no zo bo ande mi kran mo mi de gbon gbe ni fa re ni aba ma mo no ri jero to gudo le di bo e lo je yi so for me ni mo bo no ai bi ba to ene le tòlè náà wúgà mi àhẹ́yàn nàlẹ́ àwọn àgbò tòlè ọ̀sọ̀ ewé tó bọ̀ àti ọ̀tọ̀ dìbọ̀ gbẹtọ̀ gbọ́bú àti bá ti kú di òun mi ní ìwọ̀n àánú mi dé bó tó ló pọ̀ yín mi.
As message, I will just ask for peace and love, that we got to love one another and know that we all the same, and no matter the differences of style that we have in our practices, religious practices, we got to know that we all the same, and there's no religion that is superior to other. Everything you're worshiping, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, know that it's the same voodoo. It's just that your name, the denomination is different. Be it you Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, whoever you are, you worshiping God, the earth, because we inherit from a world that we do not really master. We don't know the origin, how it was created, and we refer to a mighty being, the supreme being, the creator of the universe, which is God. So in our belief, be it voodoo or what you're talking about, it is the same thing. And we got to unite and love one another. Thank you. See you next time for another interview. Bye-bye. Yeah. You know, very man.